What's going on, guys? It's Charr here. We got no cam today because, well, there's not really a great reason, but no cam right now. We are doing an unboxing here. We got Winter Soldier, we got Falcon. Let's get into it. So, usually I would do like a talking and testing. I'd unbox it, and I'd sleeve them up, and then we'd fight like Rhino and Claw, or Claw in expert mode, and just see how they fare. We're not doing that today. Sadly, my LGS got these in a bit late, but I do want to support them. So they got them in. I'm recording this Wednesday, and it'll probably be going up tomorrow on Thursday. So they got it on Wednesday. I'm sure you've had all the Winter Soldier and Falcon content for your fill gameplay wise. So I think a more interesting angle we could do this unboxing with, because I still do want to make content on them, is kind of like unboxing these heroes for the first time and reading through their cards, especially the ones that weren't revealed. I wasn't as tapped in with this reveal season. Shout out to MCM Podcast, Kennedy Hawk and Hone over there, for letting me hop on their reveal with them essentially. But I didn't have a reveal of my own or anything, and I really wasn't keeping up like I was with the past heroes. I don't really know why. I think a big thing was like the Switch 2 came out, and kind of like my, not like my priorities were changing or anything, but that's just what I was focusing a lot of my energy and effort on. So that means I get to be pleasantly surprised for a lot of these cards. Let's not get into it. Let's not wait to get into it any further. And let's see. Let's actually roll a dice here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Which one do we open first? Looks like we're starting with Falcon. So let's go ahead and set Winter Soldier off to the side here, and let's open this up. So as always, the art on these two heroes looks great. We have 60 card hero pack, which is the one complete pre-built deck. And then we also have a Nemesis set featuring Viper. So I don't know anything about Falcon. Oh, wow. This package is actually already cracked in the corner, but I doubt that affected my cards in any capacity. That would just be something complaining to complain, as I like to put it. So we've got Falcon here, and then we've got our art. I always keep these because they're just really nice to look at. So yeah, that's our little art insert here. And then we have the full art. We're going to do unboxing justice. Look at everything. Like I said, I really liked both of the arts for these heroes, and seeing the full art here is really cool. And then on this side, we know it's in leadership. We're not going to read all of that stuff, but we will set all of this packaging and stuff to the side, and we will just get into the cards proper. We'll just move it up here off screen. That shouldn't be on screen, right? Yep. Okay, so then we'll bring out our sleeves here, because I will be playing their pre-cons. I always do whenever I get a new hero. So these are Game Genic sleeves. They're the matte clears. If you guys ever wondered what I use on the channel, I used to use their old ones, the glossy or like the value pack ones, mostly because I just didn't really realize that the matte ones would be a lot better for recording. So that's just a quick tidbit there. So the idea is, like, hopefully I can give these cards a little bit of time to shine and talk about them as I'm just unboxing. It's like a little bit of an ASMR video here. You can hear the plastic crinkling and whatnot. So yeah, we'll go ahead and take that out, put it to the side. And yeah, while I'm sleeving up the cards, we can just talk about what we see. So we've got Falcon here, 10 hit points, and the 2/2/2 stat line. During the player phase, the encounter top card of the encounter deck is always face up as an eagle eye. As a response, after you play an aerial card, you can discard the top card of the encounter deck. Look at his alter ego side with the shield trait, Birds of a Feather. Discard one card from your hand. Search your deck and discard pile for a bird card and add it to your hand. So one of the great targets you can find for this is Red Wing here. Two cost ally, 1 thwart, 1 attack. As a hero action, you can exhaust it and return them to your hand. Discard the top card of the encounter deck and choose to either remove X, deal X damage to an enemy, or remove X threat from a scheme. What I like about this Red Wing card is that he's kind of like a slow tempo in a way that, like, kind of every other turn you will have something you can do. As long as you're lining up the encounter deck, you can have him like thwart for 1, attack for 1, and then maybe do a little bit more. He becomes like a delayed 2-cost event, which you can have a little bit of flexibility there, especially in solo. So how many copies? 2 copies of Birds of Prey here, which is his attack event, I think, aerial attack. So everything has aerial so far. Deal 4 damage to an enemy. You may discard the top card of the encounter deck to deal 1 additional damage to that enemy for each icon in that card's boost area. So 2 for 4 is already, it's pretty on curve, but getting 2 for 6 or something, which is hopefully what you want to, is pretty good. We have 2 copies of Bird Eye View here, which is this aerial thwart event. You remove, it's 2 for 3, and then I think it's the same exact effect as Birds of Prey, where for each boost icon you just get extra thwarting. These are really efficient events here. I really do like these. I like that they're all 2 cost. I like that this can go 2, 4, 5, even 6 thwarting is crazy efficient, especially if you have ways to recur these events, which I'm not sure if he actually has. Up and Away is a card that I have not read before. I think this may be something that got revealed, but let's see this. It's an aerial. It's a defensive, and that's why it's 0 cost. After an attacking enemy is given a face down boost card, look at that card and the top card of the encounter deck. You may swap those cards. Draw 1 card for each printed boost icon in the current boost cards boost area. This is really interesting. So wait, this is kind of crazy. So this is a weird defense event in a way, because usually defense events reduce damage, but this one is all about drawing you cards. If you give them a 3 cost boost, like a card with 3 boost on it, and just like take that attack to the face, you can actually like draw 3 cards off of it. That's kind of crazy. I mean, the fact that this card draw is so large is like really interesting. I didn't think they'd ever print a card like that. That is pretty cool here. 2 cost support here, Falcon's Flock. I'm not sure have I seen this? Remove 1 bird counter from here, generate a a lightning bolt resource for a aerial card. So he has a 2 cost resource generator, but it has uses for some reason. I'm not super sure on this one. I'm not really sure why it has counters. Why can't it just be a resource generator for aerial cards? I mean, it would hit every single card in this kit besides, I guess, Soup Kitchen right here. We know this one. It's Exhaust Sam Wilson in the Soup Kitchen. You can heal damage from him equal to his rec and reduce the cost of the next ally or support played by 2. I really do love this card, and I think it I think it has a lot of synergy with like cards in his kit. You can help him set up or put down these bird allies and whatnot. It's kind of like that Living Legend passive from Captain America. Really fun, really cool there. Aerial Evacuation, I think they showed off when another friendly character would be dealt any amount of damage. You can discard this and prevent all that damage, and then change to alter ego form. If that character is a hero, they can also change. So this is the one that lets you get easy access to alter ego. It's like you maybe proc your Soup Kitchen, lets you proc your alter ego ability without actually have to manually flip down, which is pretty cool. It's also preparation. We have Aerial Recon here, which is one of his craziest upgrades, where he can really control what encounter cards get dealt. We have Battlefield Awareness. I'm not sure if I remember this card as a hero interrupt. When Falcon uses a basic, this is also an upgrade. When Falcon uses a basic power, exhaust Battlefield Awareness, discard the top card of the encounter deck. He gets +1 to this use for each icon there. So this is kind of similar to Soaring Acrobatics, I think, in a way, where it boosts his basic activation. So he has 2/2/2 stat line. I mean, if you're manipulating the encounter deck well, you could actually get a lot of boost off of this card. I'm not sure if it'll be super important to get down early, though. We have Draw Their Fire, which is probably my favorite card in this entire kit, which after the villain phase begins, discard Draw Their Fire. Falcon does not exhaust to defend until the end of this phase. You can really defend for a lot of people on the table. We have Talon Line here after you resolve your Eagle-Eyed ability, which is on your hero card. You can discard Falcon Line. For each icon discarded, you can choose 1 to ready a character you control or stun an enemy. So basically, you want to get rid of all the triple boosts with both Talon Line and also leave them for Up and Away. Then we have his final upgrade here, which is the Vibranium Microweave. So he gets +1 defense, so he'll have a 2/2/3 stat line. When Falcon would take any amount of damage, exhaust Vibranium Microweave, prevent 1 of that damage, and deal 1 damage to an enemy. I really like this upgrade. It gives him 2 defense here. It also, is this art messed up on here? What is going on? I actually can't see that. Can y'all see that? Seems like something with the kind of ink in the corner. That's interesting. I guess I have like a tagged up Vibranium Microwave card. That is really interesting. Yeah, I guess something just happened with the printing on that one. Well, at least it looks pretty unique. It has +1 defense, tech Wakanda trait, so you can repurpose this if you would want to. I don't think you do. I mean, it's just pretty good. You can reduce 1 damage from 1 attack every single turn because you exhaust it, prevent a damage, and then deal damage back to an enemy, which is really, really cool. Looking at Falcon here, I'm still really excited for his kit. I think he has a lot more supports and upgrades than I thought he would. So he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So he has 6 upgrades. 3 of them are permanent. So it'd be this one, and this one. And 3 of them are like preparation cards, right? Or Talon Line actually isn't a preparation card, which is interesting. So I think you would want to recur that. So he actually does need a bit of economy to get going here. We have the soup kitchen. I wish this reduced the cost of his upgrades. I mean, I think that would have been pretty interesting. It can reduce the cost of his flock. Um, but one thing that I will point out is almost every single card in his kit has the aerial trait. I think there's one, two, uh, three cards without the aerial trait. And then these are 0 cost, so 4 or 5. So he has 10 cards in his kit that synergize with team building exercise, which I think is going to be kind of a no-brainer. He is an aerial card. He's also an Avenger. But then we also have some reprints here, so let's take a look at this. We've got Adam Warlock, which is an interesting reprint. I think he's only getting reprinted because he's aerial. We have Arrow here, which I think is a new card. You can choose a player until the end of that phase. Each aerial character they control gains +1 attack, which is crazy. If you want to combo it with like the talent line and whatnot, you can ready up and do a lot. This is the same card, essentially, but it's for thwarting instead. We have Hugin and Moonin. After they enter play, search the top 10 cards of the encounter deck for a minion, put it into play, and then ready one character you control for each boost icon in the boost area, which can, maybe have some really big output. Spectrum was an ally. I think I saw that someone revealed. After you play for Spectrum, tug one card used to pay for her under here. If that card's printed resource has mental +2 thwart. If it is physical +2 attack, if it's lightning +2 hit points, and if it's a wild resource you used to pay for her, she gets all of the above. So you can have a 3/3 ally with 5 activations, which is crazy good. I really like that. Here we have the card Strength and Diversity, which is a really strong build around card. Alliance, 2 per player at the table. For each different trait on friendly characters in play, choose to either remove 1 threat from a scheme or deal 1 damage. Yeah, so that's 2 per player. And we have Flight Squadron here, which is a new team card that actually isn't like Avengers or Guardians or anything, which is pretty interesting. It lets you, if each of your allies have the aerial trait, increase your ally limit by 1, and it gains a response after you play an aerial card. You can exhaust it to ready an ally you control. So it's kind of like a quote-unquote free like command team. Resource Reserve, I think I also did see. This one isn't a blind reaction, but this is a really interesting card where it's any player may spend a resource card tucked here as if it was in their hand. Action, exhaust the resource reserve. Tug one resource from your hand. Tuck one resource card from your hand under this card to a maximum of 1. I don't know how I feel about this. I really like it conceptually because what's it called? If you have someone like a Hulk on the table that has like the triple resource they get discarded at the end of the turn, maybe he didn't have a great turn, or maybe there's like a hero like Bishop, or like he can what's it called? Maybe, oh, well, this is only for the person who plays it, right? Because the action is exhaust resource reserve, tuck one resource from your hand underneath this card. So it's only the person who really controls it. But I could see like some of the heroes, maybe a Bishop who has a ton of extra resources at the end of any turn, just tucking these resources underneath here so other people can spend it, spreading the love essentially. Here we have the Captain America team up card, which is super fun and super thematic. I think I have to keep him in leadership for the first couple multiplayer plays I do. We have the Wingman upgrade here, where another aerial ally would take any amount of consequential damage. You can exhaust the attached ally and prevent 1 of that damage. This is a really interesting card. I'm really not sure how to make it work super well, but there it is. Gonna just sleeve up the resources here. And oh, he also comes with the reprint of the Power of Flight. Wow, this art is awesome. I don't know if you guys can see that super well, but it's him as like Captain America, basically. It's like the Captain America colors. That is awesome. Double the number of resources this card generates while paying for an aerial card. So one thing I can find with the resource reserve is if you're playing like a lot of aerial, you're playing like an aerial, I guess 4-player, 2-player, 3-player team, you could tuck Power of Flights if you have like extra leftover resources, and other people can spend it to pay for aerial cards. So that'd be pretty interesting. Here we have his Obligation, Harlem's Protector. I don't like seeing the extra encounter card here, but let's see. It uses 3 emergency counters. Victory 0. Okay, so at least it goes in the victory display. Alter Ego action. Spend 1 resource of any type. Remove 1 emergency counter from here. Okay, this is not as bad as I thought it was going to be. It is still bad, so you do have to go Alter Ego, and you do have to spend 3 resources. But I honestly don't know. I honestly don't think that that's too terrible. I think spend one resource of any type and remove one emergency counter from here. Yeah, no, it just you have to be able to flip down. So if there's something that prevents you from flipping down, you can get rid of it. And it taxes you for 3 resources. But other than that, I think you should be okay. At least it's not something like T'Challa's Shadow or something from Shuri. One thing I just noticed looking at the soup kitchen again here, that's what that quick pause was. You do have to exhaust your hero actually to do this, so it's kind of like you're doing your basic recovery anyways. But similar to Captain America as well, you reduce the cost of the next ally or support played this phase by 2. It is not next ally or support he plays. You can also give kind of discounts to other people on the table, which is really interesting. Usually I don't take a look at the Nemesis sets too closely. Let's actually read this. We have Viper, 2 scheme to attack, 5 hit points, Servant Society, Quick Strike. After Viper activates, discards the top 5 cards of the encounter deck. I don't think that's that bad. I mean, Falcon does like manipulating the encounter deck. You know, probably have really good like shield builds and whatnot that put the encounter cards in the order that he actually wants. So that can be bad for that. But generally playing and just using his ability, I don't think it's too bad. We have Serpent Solutions. After a Serpent Society minion is discarded from the top of the encounter deck, deal that player to the first player as a face. Oh, okay. So that's where the combination is right here. So all these guys are Serpent Societies, I would assume. So when he comes into play and he uses Force Response after he activates, you discard the top 5 cards. If they get a gang up, he would activate it again. Then all these guys are going to get dealt to you face down as encounter cards. They also come in with Quick Strike. He has 2 attack here, 2 attack here. Boost effect, give the attacking enemy an additional boost card, which can be kind of nasty. We have a card here, Advertisement, which is probably a snake pun. Surge. Shuffle each Serpent Society minion from the encounter deck discard pile into the encounter deck. And that's basically Falcon there. I'm really excited to get him down to the table and actually play a couple of games with this precon. It looks pretty solid here. So yeah, we will get this all shoveled up. So here we have the little stop, and there's a lot of text on this. I wasn't expecting that. The Captain America shield upgrade after this divider can be put into play by Captain America upgrade, and so should be set aside when using Falcon's pre-built deck. Okay, so they're just saying because for some reason this was behind the divider. I think because they wanted to show that this isn't like actually a deck building card. It's like one of those linked cards. So that's pretty cool. Just put these sleeves back in here for now. That's pretty cool. Okay, I'm not sure if this was revealed or not, but I think I saw people talking about this. Winter Soldier here, Bucky Barnes. He has 1 Thwart, 2 attack, 3 health, 3 cost ally. I mean, I like the stat line. It's not terrible or anything. Shield Soldier. After Winter Soldier attacks and defeats an enemy, removes 2 threat from a scheme. I think this is just what the hero does, but on an ally. I mean, if you can get him to defeat, I guess, 3 enemies, so he'd be doing 6 damage total and thwarting for 6. That's actually pretty decent for an aggression ally. Misty Knight, hero for hire. She looks like she has Captain America's shield. I know nothing about this hero. When Misty Knight thwarts, look at the top 2 cards in the encounter deck and discard one of those cards. Misty gets +1 thwart for each. Okay. I like this effect with Falcon, but 4 cost for this effect seems kind of crazy. But she can thwart really high, especially in scenarios with a lot of boost icons. You have Ops Room here. Uses 3 alert counters. Shield. When a friendly character would take any amount of damage while defending, okay, you can remove 1 alert counter from here, prevent 1 of that damage, and remove 1 threat from a scheme. So this can help with perfect defense builds, it looks like, because it doesn't look like it has to exhaust. It comes in with 3. So you put this down, it essentially heals you for 3 health, but it also thwarts for 3. I actually like this card. It's kind of like a side grade to what's it called, like Energy Barrier. It's not a tech card, so you can't repurpose it. It is a support, but I actually don't mind this. I wonder if Maria has some fun build she can do with that. And Fixer, I think we did talk about from his reveal, so I'm not going to look into that in great detail here, but that's Falcon. He looks pretty cool. I can't wait to like sit down and actually get some time to play some games. Time that I don't necessarily have right now, but we'll go ahead and put him to the side here. And let's go ahead and get to Bucky here, or the Winter Soldier. So he's just right over here. So we no big like nuance or no big anything going into it. We got Bucky here. Let's go ahead and crack him open and take a look. Woo. Okay, this one doesn't have that broken crack at the corner. Maybe that means that the cards will be full printing here. Who knows? Let's see. So we got Winter Soldier here. Let's take a look at that art. I rated this art very highly, I think, in my funny April Fool's type video graphic designer rates art. Yeah, this art is still just so awesome. Even seeing it in person here, really cool. Big fan of that. So that's cool. We'll go ahead and do that. And then, oh, we didn't read the back of the packaging. His Nemesis set is Crossbones. That's pretty fun. I like when the Nemesis are minions that are like kind of in the game, or villains that are in the game already. You get fun things with Shadow of the Past and whatnot. Get to Surge. The side scheme still comes in. So it's interesting. It might be a thematic matchup in the future for him to try out. But yeah, we got that. Just clear open this plastic real quick. And we'll get to looking at Bucky. So I think I remember a lot of Falcon's cards off the top of my head, especially when I was reading through them. I was jogging my memory. Winter Soldier, I think, was like one that I don't remember a ton of his cards. So same 2/2 stat line here, 5 hand size, 11 hit points. We have Lethal Protector here. After you attack and defeat an enemy, remove 2 threat from a scheme. The Red Room trained me to do terrible things. I use those skills to safeguard others now. So he has, I didn't look at the recovery stat, but he has 1 more hit point than Falcon here. It's alter ego action. You can spend 1 resource of any type, search your deck and discard pile for the cybernetic arm and put it into play. I love that it doesn't just search it. I love that it just puts it into play for you. Essentially, that means he's going to start with like a 5 hand size, but I think the cybernetic arm is good enough. You'd want to do it anyways. Here we have the cybernetic arm here that says as a resource, you can exhaust it to generate a wild resource for an attack event. That event deals 1 additional damage. So if it's an attack event that has multiple instances of damage, it also gets boosted by the arm. We have Black Widow here. Forgot exactly what she did. Let's read it. Shield and Spy. After you play Black Widow from your hand, return an attack event from your discard pile to your hand. I mean, 3-cost ally that discounts herself because she guards an attack event. Basically a 2-cost ally, 2/2 stat lines with 3 health. That's pretty solid. It reminds you like kind of like the old designs of allies in the game. Just kind of like a really simple effect. I think it's really simple and effective there for sure. I think we have 2 copies of Arm Block here, or is it 3? 2 copies of Arm Block. Okay. It's an event. This is the one that he takes 3 damage or no damage. What is it? When an enemy attacks, deal 3 damage to it. Oh, okay, yeah. You deal 3 damage back. If you exhaust a cybernetic arm to pay for this event, prevent all damage from that attack. So this is kind of a, it's not like a free attack event. You do have to use your resource generator, but if you use it, you get a really huge payoff in preventing all damage and dealing 4 back to them. It's super efficient. You almost always want to do that. It seems like. But I wonder if there's going to be a lot of cards that want to use this arm. I don't actually know if he has a way to ready it up or not. Is it a tech card? I would assume it is. Tech, so it could be readied off of, I was going to say off of auto, but you kind of have to have the Web Warrior trait for that. I wonder what kind of readying he would have access to. We have 3 copies of his 3-cost attack event. We got Metal Punch here. Deals 7 damage to an enemy. If you exhausted the cybernetic arm to pay for this event, it gains Overkill. So it's a bit under curve. I wish there was some other kind of resource requirement here that wasn't spending the arm, because the arm does get exhausted. It can only do that so many times. So like on your first turn, if you get the arm down and then you do this for Overkill, then let's say you wanted to arm block, it's I don't know if it's actually that bad when it comes to playing, but or bad in the slightest. I'm just kind of like guessing here from having no games. 3 for 8 with the arm is really good, and the Overkill means you don't really have to do any sort of finagling with damage. Just Overkill, do the rest into the villain, nothing to worry about. So now we have 2 copies of Electrical Discharge here. It says it's a 2-cost of attack event. Deal 4 damage to an enemy, and if you paid for this event using a energy resource, you can stun them. 2 for 4 and a stun is pretty fun. It's pretty efficient. It reminds you of kind of like Miles. Miles Spider-Man, his kind of attack events that have the kick or 2 stun. I like that it's a resource requirement and not a requirement of the arm, so that you can actually get that stun effect off more often without having a lot of things that are vying for that arm rest. We have 1 copy of Safe House. This is the card that summons minions in Alter Ego, right? You exhaust the Safe House. You search the encounter deck for any minion you want. You put it into play, engage with you, and then end up drawing a card, which is pretty fun here. Then we have the Silent Infiltration, and putting a minion into play isn't too bad, especially if it has low health. Because it's alter ego, it dodges a ton of quick strikes, so usually you're going to want to summon those. And also, when you can defeat an enemy, you do remove threats. You get like bonuses for doing this. We have Silent Infiltration. Oh, 2 copies of this. They're a preparation card. Okay, so these aren't permanent. After you attack and defeat an enemy, discard this card, ready your hero, and confuse an enemy. Interesting. I don't know how I actually feel about this card. After you attack and defeat an enemy, discard this card. So it's a 2-cost ready, but it also confuses, which I think is pretty efficient. I love that you can kind of put this down ahead of time too. You don't really need a lot of, you don't need a ton of, yeah, it's kind of like an Indomitable or something. It's just a delayed ready that actually has a confuse on it. So if you're playing someone who isn't steady or stalwart, pretty good for letting you flip down for sure. You do have to defeat an enemy, which is a pretty tough condition, but if you have the safe house out, you should always be finding an enemy you can defeat. So you get to basically thwart for 2, defeat the enemy, ready up, swing for 2 again, or maybe thwart some more. You get to confuse the enemy and flip down. I think that's pretty solid. Winter Armor here. You gain 3 hit points and gain steady. I would say this has like dubious value in terms of the scenario you're playing. Steady is good and 3 health is good. That brings him up to 14. That being said, this is a hero that it's really, seems really focused on tempo plays, attacking the board, getting some thwarting down. I don't know how important it truly will be for him. Then we have the Winter Mask, which lets him get the spy trait on both sides of him. It's a hero response. If you attack and defeat an enemy, you can exhaust it to draw a card. So as you see, this is like a lot of his stuff that he wants to be doing. He wants to be defeating these minions, summoning minions and whatnot. Stuff like, getting 3 extra health is nice, but I don't think it's a requirement. And then we have the Winter Rifle, which is restricted. When Winter Soldier makes a basic attack, you can exhaust it. He gets +2 for that attack, and it gains piercing and range. So the idea that it gains piercing is so good for him. You can get through tough statuses. You can maybe soften up some enemies that have tough statuses on them. So then maybe you can do an arm, the metal punch to overkill on them. Winter Soldier is super straightforward. He wants minions in play. He wants to defeat minions in play. And because of that, he wants to get bonuses such as thwarting. He wants to get bonuses like drawing cards. He wants to ready up. He wants to do stuns, confuses. Really simple, really straightforward. And a hero I'm looking forward to playing for sure. Here we've got a Captain America card here. 4-cost aggression ally. Steve Rogers, toughness shield soldier. After Captain America enters play, ready a shield character. So this is someone that's really good. He essentially has 4 hit points because that tough status. He can take a block for you if you need him to. If you don't need him to do that, he just comes in, he readies you up, and lets you just keep going and do what you do best. 3-cost ally, we've got Deathlock here. After Deathlock enters play, search your deck and discard pile for a copy of Shield Sidearm and attach it to him. So I'm sure this copy of Shield Sidearm gives him a little bit of an extra bump to his attack. And because he finds it for you, it's pretty cool. 3 copies of Firepower. If you guys want to see my opinion on this card, make sure you check out the MCM Monday podcast where I get to actually help Kenny Hawk and Hone reveal these cards. I think this card is insanely good. Now, in this pre-con, do I know how good it is? I'm not sure. I think he only has actually 1 weapon in here. I'm sure there'll be weapons, shield, sidearm, and whatnot that we can put on allies that we can also exhaust. But that card is crazy if you were built around it. We have 1x1 here, which is an example of one of those cards that does 2 instances of damage. Deal 2 damage to an enemy if that attack defeats an enemy. Deal 2 damage to an enemy. So if you play with this with your arm, it does 3 damage to an enemy, and then if it defeats something first, you're getting that 2 threat off, and you're doing 3 more, which is pretty good. Here we have another card called Spoiling for a Fight. Discard cards from the top of the encounter deck and you discard a minion, put that minion into play with you, and then ready your hero. So this is kind of like a retrain of the original aggression minion summoning card. I honestly don't think the aggression minion summoning card is that good. I'm glad they made a different version of it that's just like, yeah, put a minion in play and ready your hero. I think it's going to be so much better for so many different heroes. And yeah, sadly, I don't know how much play that other one, I think Looking for Trouble will get here. We have 3 copies of Aggressive Stance, which is a preparation card here. If you engage a minion, discard this card. Search your deck for an attack event and add it to your hand. Shuffle. I'm not sure how good I think that is. I don't think it's terrible, but it's kind of like you're playing 2 resources to tutor a card and it's conditional on a minion. I'm not sure here. Bambino, attached to a shield character. While attached to an identity, this card gains restricted. Uses 3 ammo counters. And the attached character makes a basic attack. You can remove 1 damage counter from here. That attack gains 3 damage and overkill. That can be pretty good for sure, especially if you want to put it on your actual identity. It might be a bit costly, so maybe it's better on some allies that you can ready up and get a lot of value out of. We will see. We have Man on the Wall here. Play on if your identity has a soldier trait. Exhaust Man on the Wall. Reduces the cost of the next card you play this phase by 1 for each minion engaged with you. So this is really interesting, especially for like the Bring It On archetype and whatnot, and the one that lets you draw cards for minions. So you would reduce the cost. I'm not sure how good I think this card is. I'm not sure if I would include it because he constantly wants to be clearing minions, not really sitting with them. But I think it could be interesting for maybe some hero down the line. You have 3 copies of Shield Sidearm here attached to a shield character. Limit 1 per character, uses 3 ammo counters. When the attached character makes a basic attack, you can exhaust it and remove 1 ammo counter to deal 1 damage to an enemy. I kind of do like this card. It's a combination because you can put it on Winter Soldier here, so when he attacks, you can have an interrupt to deal 1 damage to that enemy. You can also exhaust it for firepower. I'm sure there's some things you can do with Mean Swing if you want to just leave it in play. Just a 1-cost weapon. It can only be attached to a shield character, but there are some fun things you can do with it. Here we have Nick Fury Sr. coming in. After Nick Fury Sr., it's just a reprint. We have a team-up card, 2 team-up cards here. We have Super Soldiers and Winter Widow Soldier Spy. I kind of forgot what both of these do, so let's evaluate them. It's a 3-cost event. It has to be Captain America and Winter Soldier. Hero action, deal 6 damage to an enemy. Give Captain America and Winter Soldier each a tough status card. This is super good, especially if you can get it off. 3 for 6 is not a bad effect. The 2 toughs will really throw it over. Winter Widow and Soldier Spy. Put a preparation upgrade from your discard pile into play and then deal 4 damage to an enemy. It's a 2 for 4 is a really good going rate. What preparations would we be grabbing here? Aggressive Stance is not terrible. I don't think he has a ton of preparations in my opinion here. What are we looking at for that? His Silent Infiltration is really the only one, and the one that searches a, what's it called? Attack event. Obviously, this is a card that seems much, much better for Black Widow than it does for Bucky, but I think it's still a good card because it is a 2 for 4 attack event. And then Black Widow can kind of be a bit hurting for damage, so maybe you're playing that in multiplayer, 2-player, 3-player. She get a little bit of damage, set up a prep card, and she had no way to recycle it. Who knows? Let's look at this obligation here. So I have no idea what this is. I think this is Black Widow and Bucky fighting. Red Room Programming. Give to the Bucky Barnes player. You may flip to alter ego form. Choose. Okay, so he has an old school obligation. You can exhaust Bucky and remove it from the game. Or you can discard the highest cost card from your hand and take indirect damage equal to this cost. Honestly, those aren't too terrible effects. Let's look at Crossbones here. Another quick strike minion, 2 for 5. This art is super cool, especially how it looks like he's cracking the frame here on the edge. I'm not sure if it'll focus on it. But it's pretty cool art. Elite Hydra, force response. After he attacks and defeats an ally, place 2 threat on the main scheme. Okay, so he's putting the threat back on that Winter Soldier is taking off. We have Hydra Hit Squad. Crossbones commands his own team of hand-picked Hydra goons. This art is also really cool. I wonder who did the art for this kind of like run they're taking it from. Each Hydra minion gets +1 attack and +2 hit points. Okay, so Crossbones is going to come with 7 attack, which is not nothing. When defeated, the player defeated the scheme, searches the encounter deck and discard pile for a Hydra minion and reveals it. Okay, not too terrible. I mean, it's not good. Like, obviously you can't ignore this, so there's no negative icons on it. You just, hopefully you're not playing a Hydra minion scenario. You have high-tech armament here. Attached to Crossbones, otherwise attached to the villain. After you attach high-tech armament to an enemy, that enemy activates against you. Oh man, this can be an extra villain activation. That's crazy. Hero action, exhaust a character you control, discard this card. Okay, at least it's easy to get rid of. You can exhaust an ally or something, take a slight tempo hit. And then this is why I said the Hydra defeating the side scheme isn't that bad, because you'd probably always grab one of these mercenaries that only have 1 attack and 0 scheme. So yeah, that usually it won't be too big of a deal to get rid of him. That is Winter Soldier done. I really like how straightforward he looks. There's really not a ton of depth, which can be a good and bad thing for some players. I think Falcon will have much more interesting builds, but that doesn't mean they will be necessarily more powerful. Let's look at some of the cards we've got in here. So we have a White Widow, which is Yelena Belova. Shield Spy, 4 cost ally with 3 health. These stats are interesting. Hopefully this effect makes up for it. After you resolve the ability of a preparation card you control, heal damage from White Widow equal to that card's printed resource cost. So I do like this because it gives protection, specifically Black Widow and protection, a way to have some consistent Thorn on the board. You can do 2 every turn. The problem is you probably want to find a way to ready her up, because if you're constantly triggering these preparations, she's going to have like overheal at some point. I'm not sure if it's worth Voltroning an ally like this or anything like that, but I don't think that's a bad effect for what it's worth. It will take a couple turns for her to get her worth, though. You're going to have to be thwarting, so maybe you can work with a leadership ally who like makes the call and maybe Voltrons this, or like, I don't know. This does seem like it'll take a lot of setup to actually work super effectively. So we have 2 copies of Super Soldier and Winter Widow Soldier Spy for both Cap, Steve Rogers, and for a Black Widow respectively. This is a card that I think everyone was waiting for. So the only new card in the back of the pack, I guess, is White Widow and Shield Deputy. So we have Shield Deputy here. Play only if your identity is a shield trait attached to a friendly character. Attached character gets +1 hit point and gains the shield trait. So Honorary Agent was what I thought the game name was going to be called, but finally at the last hero of the wave, we have the Shield Deputy card. So for all the heroes that only have shield in their alter ego, like Falcon, like I think Spider-Woman, Hawkeye, Captain America, and Captain Marvel, they can now have it on their hero side in case you wanted to do sort of like tribal builds and whatnot. And then we had the last one, Blizzard. We did talk about this during his reveal. And so that's that. That is Winter Soldier, and that is Falcon. Kind of a very, quick review analysis, what I thought of the cards, where they could combo and where cool stuff could be had. What do you guys think about these cards, and what do you guys have been thinking of the gameplay that you've probably been seeing this whole week? Down in the comment section down below. Which one do you think is stronger? I have literally no opinions. I have no plays. But that's what I'm going to get to later tonight or tomorrow when I have time to sit down and play them. Let me know down in the comment section down below. I'm excited to see what you guys think. I'm definitely more excited to play Falcon, but I think both of them look like so much fun. I couldn't choose a favorite if I had to. Thanks for watching. Thanks for chilling out. I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.